Continuing from the last chapter, as Xiao Yan, Mu Feng, and Yuru ventured deeper into the third layer of the forest, Xiao Yan was drawn by a mysterious voice coming from within the forest. He believed something crucial for the competition lay ahead. As they walked, Xiao Yan suddenly sneezed. "That's odd," he murmured, rubbing his nose. He shouldn't have caught a chill. With the terrifying flames within his body, he had the most resilient constitution against cold. "Are you all right, Xiao Yan? Be careful not to catch a cold," Yuru said softly as she took out a garment from her storage ring. Gently raising her hand, she draped it over Xiao Yan's shoulders. "Here we go again." Mu Feng, standing nearby, smacked his lips in resignation, clearly helpless in the face of this. The three continued on in silence, soon reaching the depths of the third layer. After passing through the cave that marked the boundary of the third layer, where they encountered that mysterious barrier, Xiao Yan had grown more cautious. His soul power constantly scanned the surroundings, alert to any movement, ready to respond immediately. However, his soul power suddenly began swirling involuntarily over the ground. It was as though something here emitted a special energy, instantly grabbing Xiao Yan's attention. This shouldn't be happening, he thought. As a high-level alchemist, his control over his soul power was refined and precise. The fact that something could cause this reaction unsettled him. Though he remained outwardly calm, Xiao Yan was secretly astonished. He discreetly released an even larger wave of soul power, carefully probing the area. What he discovered startled him. The place they had arrived at was saturated with ghostly qi, far more concentrated than anywhere else in the third layer of the forest of EngSubs. "Long Yi, where are we?" Xiao Yan asked quietly as he slowed his pace, mentally communicating with the ancient ruler of heavenly flames on his back. Seeing Xiao Yan slow down, Yuru and Mu Feng followed suit, about to ask if they had reached their destination. But they noticed Xiao Yan scanning the surroundings and decided to remain silent. "It seems to be near that dried well," Long Yi responded hesitantly. "Didn't you say you knew?" Xiao Yan couldn't help but feel a bit exasperated. Was Long Yi leading him astray? "I do know the general area, but since I'm trapped within the secret realm and far away, I can only sense the dried well's location vaguely," Long Yi explained quickly, fearing Xiao Yan might misunderstand. "But the concentration of ghostly qi here is incredibly rare, even for the third layer of the forest of EngSubs. This must be the place." "All right, back you go." Xiao Yan prepared to sever the connection with the ancient ruler of heavenly flames. "Wait, Xiao Yan." Long Yi suddenly spoke in a voice much more serious than usual. Xiao Yan turned his focus back to the communication. "I haven't pinpointed the exact location of the dried well, but I've sensed the aura of the heavenly fire sacred tiger. The heavenly fire sacred tiger is nearby, and there's another powerful presence with it," Long Yi added gravely. "What would the heavenly fire sacred tiger be doing in the third layer of the forest of EngSubs?" Xiao Yan muttered to himself. And who could that other presence be? Could it be that the heavenly fire sacred tiger also knows about the treasure within the forest of EngSubs? Xiao Yan continued to mutter, piecing the puzzle together. "It's very likely," Long Yi replied. "After all, the heavenly fire sacred tiger lives here, ruling over part of the second layer. Damn, if they get to it first." Xiao Yan's eyes narrowed, a hint of killing intent flickering through him. "Don't worry, Xiao Yan," Long Yi reassured him. "Even though some of the rulers in the forest of EngSubs are aware of the dried well in the third layer, they can't break through the barrier. They won't be able to get their hands on the treasure." "Is that so?" Xiao Yan mused. "Indeed, the seal that binds the twin ghost emperors won't be easily breached," Long Yi confirmed. "But don't worry, the heavenly fire sacred tiger's strength is only at the early 5-star Do D level. The other presence is weaker than that." "Who's stronger, you or the heavenly fire sacred tiger?" Xiao Yan asked, chuckling as he gently stroked the ancient ruler of heavenly flames. "Are you kidding me? Of course, I'm stronger," Long Yi boasted. "Back when I was sealed, it took 3 Docian experts working together to do it. There's no comparison between me and that tiger. Even though my power has diminished after being sealed for so long, I don't consider the heavenly fire sacred tiger a threat." "Hey, Xiao Yan, if a battle breaks out, you can release me. I can handle a peak 5-star Do D without breaking a sweat, Long Yi added with a confident grin, clearly proud of his strength. That works for me, Xiao Yan replied with a grin of his own. Though he had recently subdued Long Yi, he hadn't yet dared to release him for solo combat, wary of potential risks. Having recently subdued Long Yi, Xiao Yan was wary of his submission. Long Yi might still harbor resentment, and releasing him for battle too soon risked backlash at best or escape at worst, an outcome Xiao Yan couldn't afford. However, that was no longer a concern, as Xiao Yan had absorbed and devoured Long Yi's source flame, significantly weakening him. Now, Long Yi was confined to the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, constantly drawing on its fire to replenish himself. Interestingly, he had discovered that the flames Xiao Yan possessed greatly aided his cultivation. Moreover, Xiao Yan also carried the Golden Dragon King, ruler of Long Yi's dragon clan. This fact reassured Long Yi, as following Xiao Yan might lead to future benefits when the Golden Dragon King returned to the dragon clan. This underlying motivation was why Long Yi had chosen to aid Xiao Yan, despite Xiao Yan still being relatively weak. Helping Xiao Yan could secure Long Yi's own advantages later. After all, the dragons had long lifespans, so there was no rush. As for that aura near the heavenly fire sacred tiger, it's likely Mu Yingying, the current leader in the points competition, Xiao Yan murmured to himself. The aura carried the same intense heat as Mu Yingying's. A peak 4-star Do D, huh? Xiao Yan muttered again. It was clear that Mu Yingying, who had emerged as the champion among tens of thousands of participants, wasn't an easy opponent. Still, Xiao Yan lifted his head proudly. Pressure created motivation, and a confident smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Let's go. We're not far from our destination now. With that, he moved in the direction he had sensed earlier. The three of them walked slowly, and Xiao Yan directed his vast soul power toward the spot where the anomaly had just appeared, trying to uncover its source. Soon, a rough map emerged in his mind as he retrieved his soul power. It revealed a dense forest ahead, and beyond it, a barren clearing with something conspicuously standing at its center, a dried well. Xiao Yan's heart leaped with joy. This was the well Xiao Yu had mentioned, the very spot Long Yi had claimed housed the greatest treasure within the forest of corpses. Excited, Xiao Yan quickened his pace and headed straight into the forest, making his way toward the well. Yu Ru and Mu Feng followed closely behind. Within moments, they passed through the forest and arrived at the barren land. The well stood before them, just as Xiao Yan had envisioned. This well is our destination, Xiao Yan said, staring at the dried well ahead. Be careful, Mu Feng warned, preparing to step forward, only to have Xiao Yan pull him back. Right? Mu Feng muttered, moving more cautiously. This is it. Long Yi's voice echoed excitedly from within the ancient ruler of heavenly flames. As the three approached the well, they found nothing particularly alarming, prompting them to inspect it carefully. The land around the well was flat and unremarkable, but the well itself jutted out, making it appear quite strange. The well's mouth was roughly circular, just large enough to fit a person. However, the edges were damaged, weathered by time. Peering into the well, they could see no water at its bottom. It looked like a long-abandoned, dried-up well. The well was deep, so deep that even with his vast soul power, Xiao Yan couldn't see the bottom. Yet, he could sense faint, mysterious energies within, and it felt like something powerful was hidden deep inside. But what exactly it was remained unclear. Xiao Yan suddenly stopped and turned to his companions. Check the well carefully. Do you feel anything unusual? Mu Feng frowned slightly and said, You're right, Xiao Yan. I've always been sensitive to the presence of ghosts, and it seems this well holds some kind of secret. The only thing I can clearly sense is an overwhelming amount of ghostly qi inside the well. Such intense ghostly qi likely indicates the presence of a terrifying entity. However, the deeper parts of the well seem to be sealed off by some mysterious force. I can't probe further. Yu Ru didn't speak, but she crouched down slightly, her eyes fixed on a spot near the well's mouth. Look at this, she said, as if she had discovered a hidden treasure. She gently pointed to several small characters carved into the edge of the well. Ghost suppressing well? Xiao Yan and Mu Feng turned their heads in unison, spotting the inscription Yu Ru had indicated. Could this well be the ghost-suppressing well? Mu Feng asked in surprise. Oh, what exactly is a ghost-suppressing well? Xiao Yan inquired, sensing that Mu Feng knew more than he had let on. This is something you might not be familiar with. A ghost-suppressing well is a sophisticated method of sealing away evil spirits. However, every ghost-suppressing well contains vicious spirits of extreme malevolence, Mu Feng explained. The ghost realm spirits are cunning by nature, their essence dark and cold. I'm not sure what kind of flames you possess, Xiao Yan, but they seem incredibly powerful, exactly what these ghostly entities fear. As for the ghost-suppressing well, I once heard my master mention it. It's specifically used to imprison ghost realm entities, Mu Feng continued. In the ghost realm, spirits are ranked from strongest to weakest, 3 ghost lords, 4 ghost immortals, and 9 ghost emperors. Beneath them are hundreds of ghost spirits, who serve the ghost emperors. Every ghost-suppressing well is said to seal at least a ghost emperor. Compared to humans, ghost emperors are immensely powerful, and being in the forest of EngSubs only amplifies their strength, so we need to be extremely careful, Mu Feng warned. 3 ghost lords, 4 ghost immortals, 9 ghost emperors, Xiao Yan muttered to himself. That kid isn't wrong. The power structure in the ghost realm is divided into 3 ghost lords, 4 ghost immortals, and 9 ghost emperors. The 3 ghost lords are the strongest of the ghost realm, while the ghost immortals are on par with the Do Xian level of human cultivators. As for the ghost emperors, the most powerful among them are equivalent to the peak strength of your human Do D. As for the weakest of them, well, even the weakest is stronger than you, Long Yi commented after some thought. Xiao Yan could only roll his eyes in frustration. 1,000 years ago, when I was sealed in the secret realm, this ghost-suppressing well didn't exist. It was created by some great figure in the Xin 3 heavens after I was sealed. Judging from the state of the seal back then, the well seals a ghost emperor, but it's clear that this ghost emperor wasn't complete. It felt like half of it was missing, Long Yi recalled. Oh. Xiao Yan's curiosity was piqued. Xiao Yan could sense that the chilling pool during the test at Red Mountain contained a terrifying presence. But compared to the ghostly energy within this ghost-suppressing well, the former seemed insignificant in comparison. That ghost in the cold pool was called the Twin Ghost Emperors, wasn't it? Xiao Yan frowned. Twin Ghost Emperors. Yes. How did I forget? A being so strong reduced to only half its strength. It can only be the Twin Ghost Emperors. Long Yi exclaimed in realization. Could it be that the ghost-suppressing well is actually sealing the Twin Ghost Emperors? Xiao Yan muttered, his gaze fixed on the well. If these Twin Ghost Emperors truly had a dual form, it's highly likely they were sealed separately. One part might have been sealed in the cold pool at Red Mountain, while the stronger half is sealed here, in this dried-up well in the 3rd layer of the forest of EngSubs. The half sealed in the Red Mountain's cold pool was clearly the weaker one, while the half sealed here in the 3rd layer of the forest of EngSubs must be the stronger one. That's probably it. But I've been sealed for so long that I know very little about the outside world now. I can't provide much more information about the Twin Ghost Emperors. Long Yi shook his head, clearly unable to offer more help to Xiao Yan. The Twin Ghost Emperors, huh? Ah, such memories. A familiar aura suddenly emanated from Xiao Yan's ring. Master, you're awake? Xiao Yan, sensing the aura, couldn't hide his excitement. It came from the imperial flame ring in his hand. Yes. Master, are you feeling better? Heh, you really are sharp, little Yin. Thanks to the dragon aura in the secret realm you sent me to, I've regained quite a bit of strength. Can you fight at that level again? Xiao Yan asked curiously. Anything below Docian is no problem. A wild and untamed aura radiated from the ring. Even Long Yi, who resided within the ancient ruler of heavenly flames, sensed the aura of a dragon king, though it flickered only briefly. Now, that's the presence of a true dragon king. Long Yi muttered to himself, clearly having noticed the fleeting aura. Although I've recovered much of my strength, I'm still a soul body. So many things will still require your help. More importantly, your body can't yet handle the enormous power I bring. But don't worry. Once we get out of here, I'll teach you a special Dragon Clan body refining technique. Then, heh. The Golden Dragon King let out a mischievous chuckle. For some reason, Xiao Yan felt like he was being set up, but at the same time, he was excited. After all, the most powerful aspect of the Dragon Clan was their physical strength. And since his master, the Golden Dragon King, was renowned for his formidable body, Xiao Yan couldn't help but look forward to learning this technique. Alright, let's not dwell on that for now. But why did you come to the third layer of the Forest of Corpses? This place is incredibly dangerous, the Golden Dragon King said gravely. Well, it's like this. Xiao Yan quickly summarized the events that had led him there. The ghost-suppressing well, huh? It's been ages since I've seen that. I remember now. The twin ghost emperors and I go way back. Who would have thought we'd meet again here today? The Golden Dragon King stared quietly at the well before him. Master! Xiao Yan called softly in his mind. I'm fine. Just recalling some unpleasant memories. The Golden Dragon King sounded a bit sorrowful. The twin ghost emperors are actually two beings. They can only be called the true twin ghost emperors when they merge. The one sealed in the Red Mountain Cold Pool must have been Malevolent Een. And the one sealed in this ghost-suppressing well? Sinister Een, the Golden Dragon King murmured. Sinister Een and Malevolent Een? Xiao Yan echoed slowly. That's right. Separated, Malevolent Een is weaker. He's only a 6th-tier ghost emperor. But Sinister Een, sealed in the ghost-suppressing well, is a 7th-tier ghost emperor, much more formidable. The Golden Dragon King spoke with a heavy tone. A 6th-tier ghost emperor and a 7th-tier ghost emperor. Xiao Yan quickly calculated in his mind. The ranks of ghost emperors corresponded to the levels of Do D. A 6th-tier ghost emperor was equivalent to a 6-star Do D, while a 7th-tier. The ghost emperor sealed in this well is far stronger than I expected. Xiao Yan grew more cautious, realizing that either half of the twin ghost emperors was beyond his current strength. And what's even more terrifying is that the twin ghost emperors can fuse into one being. When that happens, their strength will rise even further. The Golden Dragon King added. Fusion? Xiao Yan was startled. If the two halves of the twin ghost emperors fused, their combined strength. Xiao Yan dared not even imagine it. Given Xiao Yan's current strength, although he is only at the early 4-star Do D stage, in real combat, he's more than capable of taking on opponents in the late 4-star Do D stage. However, when it comes to facing a 5-star Do D or, worse, a 6-star Do D, there's no need to worry. I can vaguely sense that there is a formidable presence in the Forest of Corpses guarding the ghost-suppressing well. If anything unusual happens here, they won't just stand by and do nothing, the Golden Dragon King said with a laugh. And besides, the person overseeing this points snatching competition from Xian 3 Heavens is no pushover either, he added. For some reason, as soon as Xiao Yan heard his master, the Golden Dragon King, speak, the first person that came to his mind was Xiao Yu. Despite Xiao Yan's own strength and soul power, he couldn't see through Xiao Yu at all, but Xiao Yu seemed to be able to see through him with ease, something that deeply unsettled him. Let's go down and take a look. Besides the aura of the other half of the twin ghost emperors, I can also sense a familiar presence down there. That must be the treasure you were talking about, the Golden Dragon King suggested. Xiao Yan nodded and approached the well, preparing to descend. While Xiao Yan and the Golden Dragon King were conversing, Yuru and Mu Feng were also not idle. Yuru kept examining the surroundings, hoping to uncover some hidden secrets. But after some time, she gave up, having found nothing of significance. As for Mu Feng, he stood holding his wooden sword, staring at the ghost-suppressing well as though deep in thought. After a while, Mu Feng's expression changed slightly. There's a faint trace of ghostly qi coming from the well, but when I probe deeper, there's nothing. How can that be? My wooden sword, Purple Feather, won't leave this place since we arrived, meaning there's definitely something hidden in this well. So why can't I sense anything? Xiao Yan, did you detect anything? Mu Feng asked, turning to Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan glanced at Mu Feng and noticed his furrowed brow. With a calm expression, he replied, I only found some unusual ghostly qi in the well, and it seems like something is deep down there. However, my probing was blocked by some mysterious force, so that's all I could figure out. Yu-Ru, did you sense anything? Mu Feng asked, still puzzled, giving Yu-Ru a look. Xiao Yan's eyes flickered with a strange light for a brief moment, unnoticed by the others. Yu-Ru approached the well and looked down. I sensed a strange aura for a moment, but it disappeared too quickly to investigate further. If what you need is down there, Xiao Yan, we should take a look. If things get dangerous, we can always leave. She smiled and turned to Mu Feng. What do you think? She asked, glancing at him with a playful smile. Mu Feng, shrugging, said in an indifferent tone, I already said I'd stick with you, so how could I go back on my word? Given his strength, Mu Feng knew it would be difficult for him to break into the top 100 in this points competition, let alone climb higher. Luck had played a part in his current rank, but luck is still a part of strength. What exactly are you looking for down there, Xiao Yan? Mu Feng asked curiously. A medicinal herb. But aside from that, something else down in the well seems to be calling out to me, Xiao Yan replied. Of course, Xiao Yan was just making up excuses. Mu Feng didn't press further and simply stared at the well. Seeing that neither of them was asking any more questions, Xiao Yan said softly, the well's opening isn't big enough for all of us to go down together. I think it's best if I go down first. Mu Feng, Yu-Ru, you two stay here and keep an eye on the surroundings. If anything happens, just call, and I'll come back up immediately. Mu Feng, still puzzled, objected, Wait, Xiao Yan, why should you go? Among the three of us, I'm the most experienced when it comes to dealing with ghosts. I should go. He then added with a chuckle, besides, why not keep Yu-Ru company while I handle this? With that, he turned and tried to push Xiao Yan aside. Xiao Yan grabbed him with a smile and said, Next time, you can go first. But this time, since you're both here helping me find medicine, and I feel like something in the well is calling to me, it would just be a waste of time if you went down instead. Before Mu Feng could respond, Xiao Yan let his body drift lightly into the ghost-suppressing well. Watching Xiao Yan descend, Mu Feng grumbled in frustration, Seriously, stealing my job. If you keep learning everything, what's left for me to do? Next time, I'm just going to act without talking, he muttered. Yu-Ru remained silent, her eyes filled with concern for Xiao Yan. Neither of them spoke, their gazes fixed on the ghost-suppressing well. Xiao Yan slowly descended into the well, continuously suppressing his speed, carefully examining the walls and surroundings with his brown eyes, ready for any potential attack from unknown creatures. This well is deep. That was Xiao Yan's first thought, as even after a long descent, he still hadn't reached the bottom. At this point, Xiao Yan felt like he had descended about 40 or 50 zhong. Yet he still hadn't seen the bottom of the well, nor even a drop of water. He couldn't help but feel a sense of confusion. Yu-Ru, why are you participating in this competition? Given your status as an inheritor, joining that super sect shouldn't. Mu Feng asked, clearly surprised. I'm just here to keep someone company. Yu-Ru smiled softly. Ah, the world truly has no shortage of people driven by love. Mu Feng sighed helplessly, adjusting his robe to look a bit more presentable. The two waited at the mouth of the ghost-suppressing well for a while, but when they didn't hear a single sound from Xiao Yan, they began to feel anxious. Leaving Xiao Yan to go down by himself? I'm afraid. Yu-Ru whispered softly, her concern evident. We're a team, after all. Let's go down and check on him, Mu Feng responded. Having read her thoughts? Thank you, Mu Feng. Yu-Ru smiled appreciatively. Mu Feng didn't say much more. He glanced down the well and began his descent. Yu-Ru quickly followed. The light around them grew dim as they descended, making it nearly impossible to see anything. Xiao Yan had no choice but to activate the flame mantra, enveloping himself in a milky white flame that illuminated the surroundings. Suddenly, the area lit up with a red glow, and the scenery around Xiao Yan became clear. The walls of the well were damp, covered in dark, slimy moss, a testament to how long the ghost-suppressing well had existed. Upon closer inspection, Xiao Yan noticed that the moss was crawling with countless tiny insects and poisonous creatures, their bodies glistening eerily in the glow of the flame. These small creatures seemed to fear the intense heat, wriggling and retreating away from the fire. As Xiao Yan descended deeper, the temperature around him dropped sharply. The cold energy in the air became even more intense. Finally, after another stretch of descent, Xiao Yan landed softly at the bottom of the well. With the light from the milky white flame still surrounding him, Xiao Yan examined his surroundings and concluded that he had reached the bottom. However, this well was not dry. Not far from Xiao Yan was a small pool of water, clear but emitting an extremely cold aura. The intense chill it radiated forced Xiao Yan to wrap himself more tightly in his heavenly flame. Any ordinary person would have frozen in such conditions. The bottom of the well was about 10 meters across. Half of the area was covered by the pool, while the other half was solid ground where Xiao Yan now stood. Upon closer inspection, he discovered a passageway leading out from the bottom. At that moment, a faint, strange sound seemed to emanate from the direction of the passage, but it was too indistinct for Xiao Yan to make out clearly. Sensing something unusual, Xiao Yan once again activated his flame mantra. The large, milky white flames enveloped him, forming a protective armor around his body. Wait, there's something wrong with this water, his master, the Golden Dragon King, suddenly spoke up in his mind. Xiao Yan halted immediately. Master, what's wrong? He asked softly. Given the Golden Dragon King's vast experience and battle knowledge, there had to be something amiss if he was issuing a warning. Xiao Yan remained still, waiting. Why is there still water in this ghost-suppressing well? I just examined the bottom and couldn't find any water source or underground spring. This water is strange. The ghost-suppressing well has existed for thousands of years, and this is the place where the twin ghost emperors were sealed. Could it be? The Golden Dragon King's eyes were fixed on the water ahead. At the bottom of the ghost-suppressing well was a 5-meter-wide pool of water. This liquid is completely transparent, colorless, and odorless. Any ordinary person would assume it's just regular water and wouldn't think much of it. But things that seem harmless are often the most dangerous, the Golden Dragon King said cautiously. Be careful and take a closer look, he instructed. Xiao Yan frowned but didn't hesitate. He slowly moved toward the pool. The 5-meter distance wasn't far. Step by step, he approached it cautiously, his body radiating a glow from the milky white flames surrounding him like a human torch. As he drew closer, Xiao Yan realized that something was indeed odd about the water. How could it take on such a perfectly circular shape? The more he looked at it, the stranger it seemed. At the center of the circular pool, something was faintly visible, shrouded in mystery. What is this? The Golden Dragon King's expression tightened, his gaze locked onto the pool. Try touching the water. Don't worry, I'm here, the Golden Dragon King reassured him after a moment of contemplation. All right, Xiao Yan responded. He extended his left hand, covered in the milky white flames, and crouched down, reaching out toward the strange, circular pool of water. Xiao Yan steeled his nerves, fully alert and ready to withdraw his hand at the slightest sign of danger. With his master, the Golden Dragon King, watching over him, he decided to take the risk. As his fingers touched the surface of the water, an indescribable coldness surged through his body, causing Xiao Yan to shiver involuntarily. This left him puzzled. He possessed so many types of flames, each capable of producing intense heat. Yet this water was so chilling that even he hadn't anticipated its effect. The moment his fingers made contact, a wave of cold spread throughout his entire body, but there were no further adverse effects. Feeling more confident, Xiao Yan continued his exploration, moving toward the center of the circular water formation. The circular pool was 5 meters wide, but only as shallow as the palm of his hand. His flame-covered hand dipped gently into the water, but to his shock, the milky white flames surrounding his hand began to crystallize into ice. What? Xiao Yan was taken aback, clearly alarmed by what he saw. It must be noted that Xiao Yan had merged 23 different types of heavenly flames into the milky white flame enveloping him. This flame possessed immense power, and yet, this small pool of water had the ability to freeze his fire. Something unheard of. What exactly was this water? What kind of secret did it hold? Suppressing his surprise and confusion, Xiao Yan pressed onward. His hand moved closer to the center of the pool, where something seemed to be hidden. As his hand neared the core of the water formation, an unusual scent suddenly filled the air. Then, to Xiao Yan's astonishment, the once colorless and transparent water began to change hue right before his eyes. "This is blood spirit ice essence." An excited voice echoed throughout the bottom of the ghost-suppressing well.